Everybody's coming on.
All right. Good evening, everyone. We are Dee and Larry Corchin. Glad to be with you this Monday night. We come together for team time every Monday for you and for us, just so we can have our community time, also for personal development, for training, and all we can do to be able to help more people together as a group. So if you're new to our team or checking us out, we welcome you and welcome everybody who's made a decision to be here tonight. And, you know, we start a little bit early so we can do some personal development and then go right into our training topic, knowing that we have the hard stop at 8 p.m. for Dr. A's call. And I was reading a great article in Forbes magazine, which I will post when I post the replay of this call, but it was around the topic of a scarcity versus an abundant mindset. And it's something that comes up a lot. I know that I certainly have been in the position of sometimes thinking in our world, what that looks like is that, wow, like nobody wants to do this program, right? Nobody wants to become a coach. I don't have any contacts. I've already talked to everybody I know. You could probably put in the chat every negative thought you've ever had around whether or not, you know, there are people for us to help with the program and coaching. Since we're going to talk about the topic of client acquisition tonight, I thought it was good to talk about it. And in this article, one of the first things they started out with was a quote that said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." And they talked about the power of the brain, and they actually talked about a study with kids when they were in school, and if they were told they could learn and do better, they grew and academically grew. But if it came from an environment that just said, well, that's just the way our family is, we're just not good in school, that they would stay status quo or even go down. And then they talked about adults, and adults with aging adults, those of us that are aging that have a really optimistic idea about our future, that life is grand and we've got a great future ahead of us, versus those that are doom and gloom, those with an optimistic attitude, and that there's abundance available to us, live an average of 7.8 years. It's crazy. So how do you get from there to where you want to be if you find yourself in a place of scarcity? So I'll post the article, but the really 5 things that they talked about, which I thought was really good, was they first talked about focus on what you do have. Many of us initially will just go into the situation of where do we lack, what's our potential weakness, and we'll forget everything that we do have that is available to us. You know, I have clients that I could ask for referrals. I have clients that are doing well. There's always something that we can find that is beneficial and awesome in where we are now. The second thing is to surround yourself with people who have an abundant mindset. And I think you'll find plenty of that in Optavia and on this call, but basically surrounding with yourself, you know, who we're around, we tend to reflect. So if we're with negative minded people, that's going to show up in you as well. The third was create win-win situations. And we've talked about this before, that sometimes we'll get into a mindset of, I don't want to be pushy. We start thinking about ourselves. But I think with what we offer with Optavia, the win-win is always the client or the coach is going to win from this amazing gift that we offer, as well as it can help you move forward with your business as well. The fourth thing is to incorporate gratitude into our life. And I like this quote from Oprah Winfrey. It said, if you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. So a great quote there. And the last one was training our mind to see possibility. And when we are in an abundant mindset, what it does is it opens up the brain and neural pathways to start seeing ways to get it done. So if I asked you the question and I said, you know what, if failure wasn't an option, if everyone would say yes, and I would pay you $1 million, what would you be doing right now to help more people and acquire more clients? Look at that, like everybody's face just lit up. Like if there was no negative pulling at us, our brain becomes very abundant to the things that we would be doing. So I'll post this. If this is helpful to you, let us know in the comments. We want to provide valuable content to you, but I found it personally really helpful today. And as we get into our topic, just wanted to go ahead and make an announcement because I don't want to rush at the end to tell you guys of 2 awesome events that are coming up. You may or may not have seen this post in Eat, Live, and Be Optavia, but Meg Johnson posted that this Wednesday, the 16th at 5 p.m. Eastern, she is going to facilitate a Zoom call that you and your clients, primarily it's designed for our clients to be able to hop on with holiday tips and inspiring stories from other clients right here within our group. So really grateful to Meg for taking the lead and doing that for us. But the one thing is I want to make sure you see the post in Eat, Live, and Be Optavia and tag and talk to your clients about why they would want to attend. It's going to be awesome. And then the second, I did put this in Coaches Opt for Change, but save the date for Monday night, December 28th at 8 p.m. It's going to be a different lineup that night. So that's the night between Christmas and New Year's, the Monday night. Dan Bell is going to do a special training, vision casting call, and it's to create what you want and who you want to be in 2021.
Perfect.
That's it.
Well, I'm glad you talked about the holidays and what's going on there. So I want you to all take a little journey with me for a second. So you're going to a holiday party, okay? And you've been invited and somebody's brought you to that party. And when they get to the party, the place is packed and they say, I'll be right back. And they disappear into the crowd of all the folks there. And you're looking around and you're like, I don't know if I know anybody here, right? I kind of feel a little awkward. Is everybody looking at me? What is going on? I feel nervous. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe I should leave. Nobody's talking to me. All right? That's exactly what happens when we put clients into our client group or our Healthy for Life group and we don't talk to them. Okay? Our clients feel lost. They don't know what to do. They feel, I'm in the neighborhood, I'm in a party, and nobody wants to talk to me at the party here. Okay? So one of the things tonight we want to talk about is the powerful tools we have in our groups, in our Facebook groups. Now, for those of you that are new, I don't know if you know of all the groups we have, but we have our, first of all, our coaches group. That's where we all kind of collaborate as far as what's going on with our business. But then for our client group, we have Eat, Live, and Be Optavia. And then we also have our Healthy for Life.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Healthy for Life. And that's our candidate group. Yeah. Yes. And so the candidate group we established earlier this year. And the goal of that group was to, again, those folks that are not yet or thinking about our program, we can put them in there. But the key thing there is, again, once we put them in there, we have to talk to them, because otherwise it becomes that party whereby nobody's talking to me. It feels awkward. I don't know what to do here. And again, they may not ever go back to that group. So tonight, we're very fortunate in that we have, well, first of all, before I jump into this, I want to first thank Lauren Yeomans, Jordan Rosa, Gina Manley, and Lori Cole for all their effort and their stellar job in maintaining that specific group. They do a fantastic job keeping it going, and again, filling it with really great content. But we all have to do our part in that group. So again, if you're putting people in there, you've got to do your part. So tonight, Gina is going to share a little bit with us about what we can do and what she's seen in that group, and again, some tips that we can all utilize. So again, with that, Gina, take it away, wherever you are.
I am back.
There you are.
Everybody. Here I am. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about Healthy for Life. So it's, for those of you that are new coaches and maybe are not as familiar, it's like Eat, Live, and Be Optavia, except it's for the people that either want to know more but haven't come to the phone yet, or maybe you've done a health assessment with them and you are, but they're not ready. And it's a great place. And pages like this are called ATMs, which means add, tag, and message. And Dee and Meg recorded a great video that you should tag everybody you invite. Then there's also a link to thehabitsofhealth.com. That's your second place to tag them. And then the message is to then follow up with them and ask them, you know, how do you like the page? And have you had a chance to look at it? And whatever it is that you're doing to build the conversation. And So this is a great resource, as Larry said, for the people who are thinking about the program, but it's a great resource for you to really engage with those people you've put in there. And we've all got clients in there, so we're really all posting to help each other, because that's what this is about. And so, you know, we're looking for you all to really help us with the content. We want 80% of our posts to be value. Think about when you were afraid to pick up the phone and call whoever your coach is and come to the phone. What were the posts that he or she were doing that were appealing to you, that made you want to pick up the phone and call her or message him or however you got connected? Those are the kinds of things that we're looking for, things that are going to provide value to them. You know, we also, you know, 5% of the calls are going to be call to action. 15% of them are going to be transformations. Maybe it's your transformation. Maybe it's one of your clients. Maybe it's even something from the Transformation Stories to Share page that spoke to you. Or maybe it's someone who overcame a challenge, and you know you've got clients in there or potential clients in there that's going to speak to. Those are the kinds of things that we're asking you to share on the page. And the admins will review it and then admit the post. Couple things to keep in mind. Never hit the share button from whatever you want to share with us, because a lot of times we get a post for someone and it might be great, but whatever you're sharing, we get the content is unavailable message, which you've all seen on Facebook. And so create a new post with whatever you're going to do. If you're linking to an article or something, create something new and submit it that way. The other thing is, if you're sharing something that was on your page, which is great, maybe you got a lot of engagement from it, and there was a call to action like, you want to know more, reach out to me. Please change that before you send it to us, because remember, you're sharing this for everybody, for all the coaches, and you want those people to reach out to the person who invited them. So say something along those lines. So this is a great tool, and the admins will, you know, as much content as you can give us, we can flood this, but we need your help with that. And it's to your benefit. It's to your benefit for the people that you're trying to reach. So, and then Lori Cole, Lori, I'm sure you're out there. She's also an administrator on the page, and she's going to share about some of the activity that she's noticed has impacted the people that she invited.
Yes. Hey guys, good evening. I am the newest admin on this page, and I have to tell you guys, my confession is I was a dumper. So I would say, hey, do you want to join this page? Okay, bye. And I would just dump them in there. And I've learned a couple of things as I've helped with the admin part of this. And the first thing is that when you toss the post in there and then we put it on there, whoever comments, like all of a sudden I was commenting, oh, I love this, you know, because I'm an admin now, I'm way more involved. All of the clients, the potential clients that I had put in there were like, yeah, me too, that's great. And they started commenting. So it was very eye-opening to me that just simply going in, like it doesn't have to be, we want it to feel a little bit like Eat, Live, and Be Optavia, in that coaches are super involved, even if it's just a word of encouragement or, you know, that sounds great. Or, you know, I've been doing a lot of posts like out there saying, hey, now's the time. Your coaches are ready for you. Reach out to the coach who invited you here. And those posts, when you're liking those, the people, I don't know, it must be an algorithm thing. I'm taking a social media class, but I don't know the answer to that. but it must have to do with connections. And so if you put them in there, you're their friend on Facebook. So I think it must bump that to their algorithm. So, so I encourage you, if you could like put a reminder, like 1 day a week or 2 days a week, to go in and add a post and carve it out for all of us saying, hey, reach out to the coach who invited you, or something simple like that. And also, if you could just set a reminder in your phone to just go flood the comments when you see them, and bump that page a little bit, I think it'll be awesome. My observation, though, has been that all those people that I invited when this page started, because I did all the things. I was like, okay, tag them in the Megan D video and tag them here and do that. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. But I think that was some follow-up. I mean, you guys, our businesses are growing. This is the time. We know, and the message is that if you want to hop in January 1st, now's the time. You got to get your program ordered right now. And so when that's the message, I think that you're going to see the fruit of this. That's been my observation. I hope though that you guys can find that some helpful tips there. But I think if we just all hop in like we do on Eat, Live, and Be Optavia, that we're going to see the fruit, or the seeds that we've planted. We're going to see those. So I hope you find that helpful. Gina, I'm going to go back to you, or is it Debbie next?
Mm-hmm. It is Debbie next.
Hey, okay, awesome. Okay, so I gotta say, I'm so excited and grateful that we have that group, because up until now, I would talk to somebody and be like, woo, we're having a good time, get to know them, hear about them, blow up like oh my gosh, what can you accomplish in your life? And then they don't want to do it yet. Or they don't like, and then like sometimes maybe you try calling them every other, week or every week, and they don't answer the phone, and just leave like, hi, how you doing? I'm so excited to talk to you. Like, it's just, it gets a little frustrating sometimes when you are trying to follow up with somebody and make sure that you've got them understanding what is in their hands. But this group is just the most exciting thing, because it's something that is like in their faces, how clear what they have waiting for them. So what I have found is that when I talk to somebody and it seems like, boy, this is a really fun health assessment, and then they're like, yeah, no, not right now. I just say, what's so cool? We talked about that in the community part, we've got this great Facebook page for clients, but guess what? We have this Facebook page for people who, we've talked to them and they're like, wow, that's really cool. Right now is not the right time. So I've got this other page I can add you to. Would you like it? And invariably they're like, heck yeah. And so, I build it up like in that health assessment, okay, this is a great place for like a little, dip your toes in the pool kind of thing, get a sense of what it is that we do and bring to you. There's recipes and all these things. And so I already kind of get them excited about it when I add them, and I let them know I'm going to be adding you. You're going to get an invitation. And once you accept, let me know, and blah, blah, blah. You guys know from the add, tag, and message video. So what I've found is that following up is the trick. So I thank you so much, Lori, for the idea about like the kicking in the algorithm by commenting on posts, because I have to admit, I go in there and I do that and I submit posts, but I don't interact as much as I should. So thank you. I'm going to learn from this conversation today. The thing that I've learned is that to just be there, be a friend, and talk to people. I've had plenty of people that I've brought in via the add, tag, and message group, Healthy for Life, and have become clients along the way. So I just think it's an invaluable resource, and I just want to encourage everybody to don't forget to use this awesome resource, but definitely to be active on it is the way that we don't just like lose them, just like we would if we never talk to them again from a piece of paper.
Awesome. Anything else to add to that, Gina?
Just that this is a great way to engage, just like how we always engage on Eat, Live, and Be Optavia. This is just such a great additional tool to help reach more people. So I'm so excited that we covered this again so that y'all can get started and keep going.
Good. Thank you. Thanks, Gina, for that and all you've been doing. You've been working hard and getting some additional training because we're looking to basically enhance that group and make it more and more valuable. One thing I did want to point out, if you're not familiar with the group or haven't used it yet, I do have a coach that is in our direct line, and she kept meaning to. Well, then we were working on some tools and that she could things she could do, and she had not used that group yet. So it was a way she was able to go out on social media and ask people like, hey, I've got a great group for recipes, etc. Would you like to be added? And one point I wanted to make with Debbie Pasco that Debbie does a great job at is that if she does a teaser post like, hey, this is a great recipe, would you want more like recipes like that? When people comment and say yes, Debbie does a great job going into private message and interacting with them and saying, hey, I'm happy to drop you in there, but what are your health goals? Would you like to learn a little bit more about what I do as a coach? And I know when we initially rolled this out, Debbie, you had lots of health assessments from that just took it one step further. And it can be real easy to just say, great, let me drop you in this group, and then do like that, we call it DNR, a dump and run. But now we're learning the value of interacting.
Yeah, no, it's a great opportunity to use it, especially with the challenges we have with COVID and getting around and seeing people out in the real world. When we do come across somebody that we connect with and they're not ready, keeping them connected is so key, and that's a great way to keep them connected. So thank you again for everybody in their participation and the transparency. Thank you, Lori, for sharing about dumping and running. So
yeah, we've all been guilty.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I'll include that original training when I post this replay. I'll include a link to that original training if you missed it or if you'd like to go back and revisit on we call it an ATM group, add tag message, healthy for life. So we want to continue. I think we could probably spend about 3 weeks on the topic of client acquisition, but we really wanted to provide as much as we could in this 30 minutes. So we're going to roll over now to Frank Davis, and Frank and Shauna do a phenomenal job connecting with and acquiring new clients. So Frank's going to give us a little speed drill of the best things that we can be doing to acquire more clients during this season. So Frank, you want to take it?
Yeah, thank you, Dee. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make an assumption. And I'm always making assumptions, and they're always usually wrong. But I'm hoping this assumption is going to be correct. I'm assuming that everybody's here on a Monday night in the middle of COVID, in the middle of Christmas season, because you want to have a business. You're not here for a hobby, right? I'm going to assume that. And I'm also going to assume you have a passion for people and you want more than just a little tiny itty bitty little business. Okay. So I'm not going to assume how big of a business you want, but I'm going to assume you want a business. Now, Shauna and I have replaced our full-time incomes. Okay. So this is all we do. So it's a business for us. And so I don't work anymore. I only worked like 30 days this entire year. This is all we do. So I had a coach ask me the other day, how do you turn this in from a hobby to a business? And I can spend all night long teaching you how to make the phone call and how to do the health assessment, how to do a follow-up and how to do this. But really what it boils down to is what is in your heart and what is in your mind. And are you treating it like a business? Because if you're treating it like a business, the best analogy I can use is if you're a fisherman or if you're a golfer and you're going fishing or golfing every, once or twice a weekend, that's a hobby. And you enjoy it. Yeah, it's fun to go fishing. It's fun to play golf or whatever, but that's a hobby. But from the moment you take that hobby into a business, now you're not just going on the weekends. You're showing up every single day. And if you're a fisherman, guess what? You're going out on the lake when it's raining, when it's snowing, when it's a thunderstorm. You're going out there when you got a cold and you got the sniffles and you don't feel good and your hip hurts. It does not matter. You're going, right? And guess what else you're doing? You're going to every bass shop and every fishing shop and you're looking at the lures and you're studying this and you're watching videos and you're showing up even when you don't want to show up. Why? Because you took it from a hobby to a business. Now, you got to do the same thing here. If you want clients, you want a big business, you want to be full-time Optavia, you've got to go from hobby to business. But it's not so much a technique, it's belief, it's conviction, It's what's in your heart, your passion for people, and what's in your mind. How do you treat it? Okay, and it doesn't matter how good you are on the phone call. Certainly that will come with repetition. That will come with practice. So what I challenge you is quit believing the lies that nobody's getting in the month of December. Quit believing the lies, oh, it's Christmas, nobody's getting in. That's a lie, okay? I would challenge each and every one of you, if you want a business, to put 2 clients in this month. Today's what, the 14th of December? You can put 5 in or 10 in still this month, but put 2, just 2. You can have 2 before the week's out. So concentrate on 2. Now, how do you do 2? You treat it like a business, your business, every single day. I don't care what you got going on in your life. I don't care that you got the sniffles, you don't feel good. I don't care who you know. You treat it like a business. Now, if you're making those phone calls and you get 5 or 6 phone calls and nobody's getting in, yeah, reach out to your mentorship. Okay, you may have a kink in your hose. Now, wait a minute, what's that about the hose? You got to have your fire, you got to have your hose turned on at the spigot. You got to have water coming out, but if no water's coming out, you got a kink in your hose. So there's something going on there. And I want to circle back to Dee's statement early on. She said, if I gave you $1 million, that's a mindset. If Dee had $1 million right now in a briefcase and turned to everybody and said, hey, if you just get two clients by the end of this month, you get this briefcase full of $1 million. How many on this Zoom would do it? Everybody. That's a mindset. Yeah, I see somebody there raising their hand. It's a mindset. Okay, so Dee doesn't have $1 million to give you, and neither do I. But treat it that way. Treat it that way. Don't let anybody shake your tree. Don't let anybody steal your dream. Don't cry in your soup because somebody canceled a phone call. Just keep doing the work and treat it like a business. Thank you, Dee.
Awesome. Frank, thanks for bringing it and again sharing that with us. And you know, I just want to add to that as well. You know, again, it's so true, right? One, when we get into this business, right? It's our business and it's not a job. Right? Many of us came out of jobs. Right? You just close the door, you go home. Right? You forget about it. It's just, you know, it'll be there tomorrow. Okay? But in a business, okay, you have to always think about it. You have to always think about growth. You have to always think about what's going on. Okay? And there's benefits to that, right? You really do get to change. You get to go pick up your kids whenever you want to pick them up. You go to take care of a family member. You go to leave on vacation whenever you want to leave on vacation, right? There's huge benefits to that. And remember, a job, somebody treated it like a business to start that business, right? That, you know, so again, understand that the challenges that we have are all, like Frank said, it's all up in our mind, okay? It's a mindset shift from that perspective. So again, there's a lot of opportunity that we have for the remaining part of this month and really to get started. You know, Frank was saying 2 this month. I would just clarify 2 on top of your map. Okay, 2 on top of whatever your map is right now. So if you're new and you haven't done a map yet, okay, then it's 2. Okay, but if you've done a map, then I would say it's 2 on top of a map. That's just me. And also, by the way, Mindy, Zena's calling you right after this, okay? I saw you waving up there, and she said she's going to call you, so okay? So anyway, well, great job. Thank you again, Frank. Appreciate that. And to wrap up for tonight, just some quick things. Next up, we have Dr. A's call. So again, always an opportunity here directly from Dr. A and from leaders in our in Optavia. Field training, of course, after that. And the topic is follow-up. So I think it's perfect. It's a perfect timing for us as far as follow-up goes. And again, I know certain coaches have asked about that in the not too distant past. And so perfect timing as far as that. And then Dan Bell after that. And again, a reminder what Dee mentioned earlier about the elbow session that we have on December 16th at 5 p.m. again with Meg Johnson. as far as that goes. So, all right. So great. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday time as we get into year end and spending time with friends and family. And again, just want you guys to know we appreciate everything you do.
Yep, appreciate you guys getting on. Thank you to all of our speakers tonight. And a reminder that Thursdays, 12:30 to 1, this Zoom room, come back, informal, ask your questions. If you're having any specific questions, challenges, or just want to come and learn, it's a group coaching session there. So we're having a lot of fun with it. So we'll see you there, and we'll see you on the calls afterward, after tonight. Thanks so much.
Take
Bye.
care, guys. Love you.